when you get pictures.
I can grab some screenshots of some stuff.
One flat of 1 equals 2.
Look at it. And I've killed my number one now 3 years in a row. Fielded 100 yards, a bunch of does. I happened to glance into it. There was like a farther section you can like kind of look through. Too bad both sides aren't equal. What a mess!
Smoked. He's been dead a while.
Oh, he's dead. Please.
Look how frozen that is. He's smoking.
They've been given a little modest spread. They licked the pedicles clean. That's what so.
116 now.
Listen, you killed a mature buck before you went out. People complain that it stinks like propane, so we don't use it as much. We just rack Isaac's electric fill up. All right, guys.
$30.
One day,
Same tree.
Same tree.
Oh my god, I'm so
Woo!
Holy shit! Get a shot of these.
2 farms this year. Number 1 is done.
Did you say bye, Kevin?
I did. I already did. Bye, Kevin.
Bye, Kevin.
Bye, Kevin. Bye, Kevin.
Smoked it, buddy. Look at that. You destroyed it.
Joey takes
The shop is closing up.
Make sure he takes all his right antlers. Well, all right, guys. This is Deer Shot Podcast, episode 50. This is the reaction to our deer series and the roast of SBO. I have Ethan and Isaac in studio with me here today. It's going to be kind of a fun one. I don't know how long it's going to be, but we're going to go over our last 3 episodes, which we'll talk about how well they've done, and then I have all of the negative comments that have ever been made on any of our YouTube videos since the beginning of time.
You have all of them?
All of them. I went through a couple different times, and just you can scroll through every comment, and I found all the negative comments on all our videos.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have any positive comments?
I didn't put, no, there are lots of positive comments. There's more positive than negative on our videos. I didn't save any of the positive ones for this podcast. This is just all the roasting. This is all the shit talking, the nasty comments, the you guys are a bunch of dumbasses, all that stuff.
I do need to look up one thing while you're talking.
That's fine.
I have a rebuttal to a lot of the comments that are based towards me.
Well, I'll read them all off, and they're based towards you. I'll let you say your thing.
I know there's one guy out there that does not like Matt Spaniel at all.
That's fine. So guys, if you're listening to this, please leave a review, hit the stars on whatever podcast app you're on right now. It makes a very big difference for us for getting our podcast promoted. If you're on YouTube, leave a comment what your favorite roast was in this episode or your reaction to the deer series. The deer series was called City Deer, Country Deer, Public Deer. 3 episodes in a row that we did the last 3 weeks. It got us back up into the Apple Wilderness charts. We have charted once again. Haven't been on the charts for outdoor style podcasts since January. Somewhere around January is when the last time we were in the charts. Once the deer hunting was over here in Ohio, our chart ranking kind of dropped out. But we entered the charts again this week with our last couple podcasts. I think we made it up to like 184 and then dropped to 220 or something. I don't know. I don't think anyone really knows. It's kind of like the music charts. Like no one really knows what metrics they use to tally that, because we've had weeks before where we've had more views than like the last couple weeks total for the entire week, and we weren't charted. So I don't know if it looks at views, reviews. I guess they kind of keep that secret on purpose. Probably It's their own special
algorithm per se.
Yeah, whatever it is that they use to do it. But we were back on it again, which is cool. Our episodes were the 1st, 2nd, and 5th most listened to on their premiere dates for our podcast, which is pretty cool. The episodes themselves aren't the highest listened to overall because they haven't been on there that long, but we had download days 1, 2, and 5 over the last 3 weeks, which I am not going to complain about whatsoever.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
thanks guys.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting how YouTube and the podcast both took an upturn right around June. Metrics go down until about June, and then all of a sudden they just take a
180
switch gets flipped, and things started rolling, which is good. But in that series, we had Jason Salzer on to talk about city deer hunting. He has a big property on the edge of a large suburban area, and he talked about the ins and outs of that. We had Matt Williams and Nick Schlau on to talk about country deer hunting, which is the kind of deer hunting that we do, out in farm country, private ground mostly, bigger chunks of land, the opportunity to manipulate habitat, all that. And then we had Jacob Emery do a remote podcast with us to talk about all the public land hunting and the upsides and downsides to that, which was very enjoyable. We got that to work out pretty good. There were some technical difficulties, like always, in our videos. Not quite synced on YouTube, but if you're that concerned about it, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't think that many
leave a
people.
roasting comment.
I don't think they watch it for an hour. They may play it in the background and listen to it and stuff.
Because I'll do that at home. I'll put on like Hunter podcast or something in the background when I'm doing stuff, and not even pay attention to the actual video, but just listen to it on YouTube.
And it is strange that I know we have a lot of subscribers and stuff, but YouTube just gets a lot more traffic than the podcast platforms.
Yeah, and we're the podcast is only 51 weeks now that we've had it, so it's relatively new compared to our YouTube channel, which is 15 years old now, approaching 14 years old.
It's been around forever.
Couple thoughts on the series before we get into the roasts. I mean, I obviously really enjoyed it. We'll be able to expand, each individual episode, we'll be able to expand a little bit more on it next time we have guests of that caliber or those guests back on and kind of dive a little bit deeper into maybe some of the tactics they use. It was more of a broad stroke and overview of, hunting.
Yeah, we say all the time that ours is a entertainment platform, not an educational platform per se.
Yeah, please don't tune in unless there's an episode that we really push to you guys as something that's that's instructional or tactics, or we get a really good guest on. Our podcast is there for just you guys to enjoy your ride to work and
little informational and mostly
it's entertainment.
Yeah,
and it just easy to listen to, I guess would be the word for, just keep you entertained on your drive to work. We're not going to sit here and teach you how to kill the biggest deer in the world or find that giant bull elk or any of that.
Switch saddle or something.
Yeah. That's just not the style we do things. I found it interesting that everybody said that, I asked the same question at the end of every podcast. If you had, if you could buy 100 acres anywhere, would you do it city, country, or public? And they all actually said they would buy their land in correlation to the way they hunt now. There was nobody that hunts one way that would rather hunt another way per se. So, I mean, I found that interesting. Everyone did pretty much admit that the best chance of killing a giant buck every year would be hunting next to city or suburb type property. Yeah. Everyone does have opportunities at bigger deer from time to time
and
on public.
It seems the people that we know that kill the biggest deer consistently are either hunting in the city or near the city.
Yeah, because I just think there's more deer that can get old. There's less people pursuing them, and there's more area that they can breed and feed and sleep without a hunter on. So they just get older. It's not really rocket science. They obviously venture outside the city. They obviously get hit by cars. They obviously can be killed by hunters in the city. But I just don't think the deer spend their entire life looking for that arrow over their back like the deer out here in the country.
And there's a whole lot less predators. Those deer are a lot less pressured in the city. Obviously, you'll drive by them every day and they'll just look at you. So we might need a scientist for that, but that may lead to larger antlers, a less stressed life.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of scientists that do believe that the less stress a deer has, like a farm deer that's not afraid of humans at all and just eats and sleeps, obviously you grow the biggest antlers.
250-inch antlers at 2.5 years old.
Right. So, if deer lived a more leisure lifestyle because they're in the city, there's no coyotes and bobcats and bears bumping them out of their bed on a daily basis. And when they do see humans, they're non-threatening. They don't make eye contact. They don't come and try to touch them or sling arrows at them.
Yeah, it's no secret if you drive around any suburbs in our area, you're going to see deer and you're going to see big deer.
And you drive through the suburbs during the rut, it's just incredible what you'll see on the side of the road. Just 180-inch bucks chasing does around, running through people's yards. And
yeah, craziness.
It's awesome. I was going to give my thoughts on... And I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on where you would buy your land in that situation, if you could buy city, country, or public. And I wouldn't buy near, for me personally, I'm not buying near the city. But there is something that I like about the way we hunt in Indiana near that public land, where maybe not everything that borders you is one big giant piece of public, but there are lots of public land within 10, 15-minute drives, 20-minute drives right around the corner that you can hunt alongside your 100 acres. something like that would be ideal, I think, because it kind of opens up. If your farm itself for a year, whatever is having a down year, you have all these other options.
Open it up, yeah.
Yeah, my answer would be completely different. Mine would probably be 100 acres in Montana, Nebraska.
Yeah, that's
somewhere where I am next to public, next to mountain ranges, but then I also have a soybean field or a corn field of my own.
Yeah, because 100 acres doesn't go very far out there unless you have some type of like bottomland food.
But yeah, if you have 100 acres of bottomland food next to a public mountain, or if you even have some of that mountain on your property, you can really get a stranglehold on those deer in that area.
Those alfalfa river.
We drive by giant elk and giant deer all day long, and then we go up in the mountains and don't see anything.
But they are living up in the mountains, obviously.
Yeah,
it's all dependent on time of year.
Time, pressure, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, the whole 9 yards.
I wonder, like, when you're out there hunting, like, elk during the rut, are you seeing a lot of elk rutting activity down in those bottoms?
Yeah.
Tons.
When you're driving in?
Tons.
Yeah, so you're driving in through a lot of the places we'll hunt. There'll be towns, obviously towns in the lowland, and then farm, ranch land. And then it goes straight up into the mountains. And you're driving through these towns and these low-lying ag fields, and they're just filled with, it's mostly whitetails, but there's also elk and mule deer too.
I remember that we saw that one hayfield outside that tiny little town. I believe it was in Montana.
Yeah.
And it was all whitetails, at least
hundreds of them.
Yeah, at least 100 were in this field that was probably only 20 acres.
And that seems pretty typical.
It was right along a river with a couple, there was cottonwoods in the bottom or something.
I think if it would be in Nebraska, that's probably where I would go.
Interesting.
But that's mostly a private state.
Yeah.
I would do country, and I would want 100-acre blocks around me too. Not like we have
Yeah,
here.
yeah. So like one neighbor to your left, one neighbor to your right.
And then they all hunt, and they all do their controlled deer, and then
it'd
be nice to isolate that.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be, if you had a really good neighborhood. I mean, a neighborhood like that's where you can grow the consistent 150-inch bucks. Everyone gets one every year or two. There's just a lot of mature class deer because there's a lot of land where they're not getting killed.
See, this would be a conversation for another day, but like around here where we live, there's lots of small lots and lots of hunters. And if you couldn't bait, then those small lots would basically be obsolete when it came to hunting. And it would change the game hugely.
Have you been listening at all to the new Hunter podcast about the Ohio advocacy? So they talk about
but Jay
that.
sent me something on Instagram today, and I watched it.
They've been,
it's a lobbying group, right?
Yeah, and they talked about that specific thing exactly. They haven't done any reverse studies, but they've never done a study where they take baiting away and see how the deer start to react. But they have done studies to where they take an area that's not being baited with collared deer, and the deer are just all over the landscape, using terrain and moving with the wind and all that stuff. And then they add bait to an area, and all of a
sudden those deer go quick.
48 hours, the deer are all bedding within 300 yards of that corn every night, and it's just controlling their movement.
But it's just interesting here because everybody's doing that, so it's like little blocks of deer.
Well, and that would be a way that if you only had 10 acres or 5 acres and you're trying to hunt next to a guy that's got a bait pile 500 yards away, it's going to be a rough time for you if you don't have your bait out. Their argument, I believe, was if everyone got rid of baiting, the deer would go back to using all the property and moving around more. So you would have better hunting on that small acreage because the deer would move through it more often because they're not centered around bait on someone else's farm.
Do you think?
I don't know if there's any proof to that because they've never done the reverse study where they take bait away and see how the deer react.
Do you think the supplemental baiting would lead to a lower, like if they took away baiting, it would lead to a lower population? Do you think the supplemental baiting is actually supplementing the deer herd?
No, because I think only the extremes are actually doing enough to make it an actual food source. So even like areas where there's bait and bait piles, they still say deer eat 40%, take 40% of their intake from like natural browse,
multi-flower rows,
and 40% from crops, soybean fields, and then the other 20% would be bait or
it's a late night
whatever
snack
you put out for them. So, yeah, they're not sitting. Deer eat throughout the entire day when they're awake at normal times. They're eating, and they're not sitting at your corn pile for 10 hours straight. They hit it for 30 minutes and leave and go somewhere else and eat.
I think it can be. You can make the argument, and it can be pretty guaranteed that the harvest percentage would go down if there was no baiting.
Yeah, I guarantee
for a lot of people.
So there would be less deer killed, less mature deer killed, but less immature bucks killed too. So more immature bucks would be able to get older.
So a lower success rate for the majority of hunters.
Yeah. But
obviously those elite hunters that don't use bait or are really good at what they do it's not going to change. It might improve their harvest percentage, but
they might have deer start showing up that they never had a chance at because someone else is baiting them away. The problem with baiting is it becomes who's got the most money. You can
Yeah.
outbait your neighbor if you have more money. So that's
We see that every year with a certain acquaintance of ours.
and that's the problem with. That's why a lot of people. I have noticed that a lot of people that are for baiting don't have an issue spending $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 on food in the fall. The people that are against baiting, for the majority, are the kind of people that can't even afford to spend $100 on corn, let alone $5,000.
So
So they're upset because the guy with more money is stealing all the deer.
Yeah, so we had a conversation the other day with our hunting acquaintances, not the guy that was shooting deer in the city with rifles on tags like that, but the other guy that's very successful in killing lots of large deer, and his family's very successful in killing lots of large deer. He's already baiting.
They bait year round.
Yeah.
Don't they?
Yeah, a lot of these
he's
guys
already
are-
sending us trail camera pictures on July 3rd of a really nice deer in velvet eating corn.
Yeah. Like piles of corn.
Or eating record rack, whatever kind of protein he's putting out.
Yeah, and they, this advocacy group, their big thing was that these moldy, wet corn piles, like this time of year, and all this stuff that gets created, these ryotoxins or ribotoxins, they're getting created with wet, moldy corn that sits in the ground and gets all mud, and it just creates cesspool. Deer urinating on it, coon fecal matter, and everyone's eating it. It's ruining their hooves. None of that's being helped by people that are baiting right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's their big takeaway from it, is they want to just make the deer healthier. And they say that those toxins they're not really killing deer. There's not a lot of proof that they're killing deer, but they have proved that those toxins are killing poultry and birds. So grouse,
because we know
pheasants, mourning
that
dove,
that species is a lot more fragile when it comes to
and especially turkeys.
our turkey. The turkeys are in trouble around here.
Yeah, the turkeys are very much in trouble.
They're in trouble, big time.
It's weird. I don't want to give away too much of the podcast, but it's weird where the most birds live in a place where people can't bait them, and you can put the two and two together on that.
Yeah.
But that's where the birds have started living, is where there's areas that can't be baited, and there's reasons why areas can't be baited. But the places that are baited, their turkey population is just going down, because these hens in the late January, February, towards the end of deer season, you get these huge flocks of hens come in and just clean up corn piles. How many toxins are they getting from that? Their eggs aren't fertile. Are they not? Are they trying to breed and just not being successful? They're going to try to do more studies on that.
I saw a weird thing the other day. It wasn't around here. It was in North Carolina when I was down there. I saw one hen with about probably 15 poults, and there was 3 different sizes of poults with this one hen.
Yeah, so that's weird. Those
Like
eggs
there was
obviously
like
hatched.
little chicks, like
Yeah.
little baby chickens, and then there's ones that were a foot high, and then there's some in between. There was probably 15 total, 3 different
Do
sizes.
you think there was like multiple broods together for?
Yeah.
For
So I don't know if
protection?
the hens were getting killed or if maybe I didn't see the other hens, because I
Yeah.
don't think they'd be flocked up yet in June. This was in North Carolina.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know anything about the South. Their turkey, like the way the turkey.
I just found it
situations work.
strange. I've seen it around here too. Different size chicks, poults with one single hen.
I haven't seen any poults up here. Now down in southern Ohio, where we're not doing any baiting, so that farm down there, the Gore farm, there's not a lot of baiting in that area because they're just larger tracts of land.
Yeah, and the
older deer
hunter
hunters.
density is a lot lower down there.
Yes, and they're older deer hunters that aren't into the baiting thing. We got a video over a month ago already. Maybe it was even in like late May, of a hen with like 15 or 16 tiny little chicks. Poults, like just running around on the ground, like a really good hatch. They'd only been out in the nest probably an hour or two. 'Cause they were literally tiny.
So is there any studies on where the greatest hunter density is when it comes to like year-round hunting? Because I know like Wisconsin and Pennsylvania have insane gun hunter numbers.
More than us.
But around here, the bow hunters, it has to be one of the highest densities around.
Yeah, I mean, you would have to. The problem is, I don't know if they broke it down by county, which would take a lot of work. I would be interesting to see how that is. How many?
I don't know how they can find that number out. They'd have to do
license
surveys.
sales and where you live, but that doesn't tell you where you hunt. So that's that's the hard part.
If you kill a deer, you can say where they hunt.
Any giving,
I guess you could look at harvest data, and they have all the harvest data, but that doesn't show how many people are hunting and not killing deer.
How many people are hunting in our town? So our township, 25 whatever square miles, on a given Saturday in October. How many people are bow hunting? Hundreds.
Yeah, I'd say
Hundreds.
I'd say 300 or 400.
Yeah, in a 25 miles.
Because like
square
there'll be a
mile
night
radius.
where we already know that there's 10 people hunting within a couple miles of us.
That's just our
'cause we're
group.
texting them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
But
and then we
somewhere
know that
like-
there'll be some neighbors hunting, which makes 15, 20 in the immediate area, and this is just one little tiny 1 square mile out of 25.
Yeah. Then somewhere like Southern Ohio, there could be 10 people hunting.
Yeah.
Or then you go out to Iowa, Missouri, and stuff. One person could own a ranch that's as big as this township.
Right. Well, there's more hunters in Ohio, so that's like the big. They talk about they brought that up on hunter as well. There's more hunters in Ohio than there is in Iowa, so that's why. And I people are all I had a conversation with Born Again Matt about like, oh, Iowa just has better deer hunting, and I'm like, well, to be honest with you,
Larger tracts of land, less hunters.
but we smashed them in the record books.
Oh, yeah.
Iowa's never had a 200-inch typical.
And how many we have?
And they've never had a 300-inch non-typical. I think their record for non-typical is like 260. Ohio's probably had 20 bucks over 260, maybe 30, and they've had at least 3 or 4 over 300.
But any given
And the 200-inch typicals, like
any given all-day sit during the rut, we may see 140,
Yeah,
and you could
yeah.
see 6 160s out there.
Yes.
Jay's been on the podcast to talk about it this year or this past year.
so you have a better opportunity as a diehard deer hunter to kill a good buck in Iowa because there's more mature bucks around. But I will argue to the end of the day that
There's
you can
bigger
kill a
deer
bigger
here.
deer here than you can in Iowa.
They
The
don't
record
come to
books,
Ohio.
the record
Yeah.
books prove that.
And we get whispers of 200s around this general vicinity of the state
Yeah.
every single year.
Yeah.
Multiples.
Well, there was one killed in Ashland this year.
Yeah.
212,
Yeah.
209, something like that. Typical.
Yeah, not super far away from here.
So I mean, it's wild.
But that little tangent.
Well, I have. It's
I don't
funny
remember what
because
started that.
we started talking about corn, but I have it listed down here. Actually, we didn't even get to it, but corn was discussed by all three hunters. The guys hunting in the city, the guys hunting in the country, and even the guys in the public. Jacob was talking about how he hunts a piece of private in Kentucky, throws a bag of corn out, has a 180-inch buck
To see
shows
what's
up.
there.
Yeah, has a 180-inch buck shows up in the first week, and he didn't know it because it was like a non-cell camera. I think he said he had on it. So, corn is influencing all three types of hunters. I know Jason hunting in the city. He's running dual 500-gallon feeders or 500-pound feeders and 10 acres of food plots.
It is a little
Like,
strange.
that's wild.
I know he talks about the habitat stuff that he's doing, but he is fully hunting food. All of his habitat stuff's food, all of his baiting's food.
And to his point,
Food
his
plots,
point this year
everything's
was
food.
His point this year was that he did all that manipulation and had brought in a couple older class bucks earlier. Which that is a good valid point. You know what I mean? Could he have the same amount of deer killed on the ground if he just slung out corn and did nothing else? Probably.
But his style of hunting is food, 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 food. I'm only hunting out of redneck over my feeders.
Yeah.
Do we know anyone that doesn't hunt over corn at all? Never, ever.
Jay.
Uncle Jay.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
gets
Uncle
all
Jay.
mad. Like when he comes over, he'll come over in the late season to kill does.
But time out, Uncle Jay hasn't hunted in Ohio besides maybe a couple token gun hunts
Yeah.
in 5 years. So,
yeah, 'cause
so he's
just
given
over
up because he's a non-corn hunter. He's given up on this area because of the corn that everybody else is using.
Yeah.
And the deals with trespassers, hunter numbers, lack of access. Yada,
He
yada,
did
yada.
come over and miss 2 does.
Yeah, he comes over and hunts late season with us usually.
Just to get meat
couple
and
days
stuff.
meat doe hunts with his black powder. And he don't like to hunt any stands that have been anywhere near any corn. He gets real butthurt about that.
It's his thing.
And I'm glad that he sticks to his guns with that. I wish he could shoot a little bit better so he'd kill some of those deer he shoots at. But
Yeah. He'd be a lot happier guy if he could get an Iowa tag every year, not every 6 years or whatever it is.
For sure. So, do we want to start talking about some roast?
Yeah,
topics?
sure. Let's see. So, are we going to start on certain videos, or are you
Yeah,
just
I
going
have
to do some highlights?
Well, so I have I have all the comments broken up by video. So I'll be able to say what video it is if anyone wants to look. I can put a little graphic on the screen, and then we can kind of explain what that video is before we talk about it, and then I'll just go through all the comments that are on that video.
because a lot of our comments are based off of drinking beer, deer drives,
Hunting over corn.
Corn,
shooting small bucks, corn,
shooting small bears.
shooting small bears. My bad.
So the first one, it just happened to. I don't, and there's actually no rhyme or reason to which videos where. I started putting them in there when I saw comments and built I kept the list going. But the first one is the Home Farm Deer Camp, which is 2023. So this last season's our Home Farm Deer Camp here. The buck that's above that camera was killed during that. It was just a good. It's been our number 1 or 2 or 3 video since it's been released. So it's
It's up to like 70,000 views.
72, I think I saw the other day.
6-7 months, 8 months now. That video being our best video, our most viewed on a daily basis. So.
Which is pretty cool because if people watch deer hunting on YouTube, they probably have run into that video
yeah.
at some point.
Do you know what would have made that video perfect?
If I would have got the kill shot.
Yeah. If you would have actually killed that deer
had to go-
somewhat on camera,
had to
even
go-
with the GoPro.
I had to go Rambo on him.
Yeah, but you'll have to watch that video to see how that goes down. But I'm going to start reading off these comments. If they have a unique username, I'll actually say what it is just so they can, have their 5 minutes of fame. Right. They'll get their 5 minutes of fame, which is fine. Any chatter's good chatter on YouTube, so we don't care.
And not to bring up somebody that we hate talking about on this podcast. We've talked about them several times, but the Bomars. Mm-hmm. The most hated, but also arguably one of the most popular hunters on social media.
They engage with all these people on social media. Every once in a while when it gets a little crazy, like Sarah Bomar will like be fighting with fans.
I seen she posted something yesterday, like just a straight up just like underwear shot on Instagram or whatever. It's funny.
And then like she like people make comments and then she like actually goes in and replies to them and like calls them like weak males and like
you don't like my muscles because I can do more push-ups.
Yeah, it's just wild to me. It's wild to me, but it works for them. So it's
an incredible marketing thing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, they're geniuses, even though we hate them.
So Rick Warner, 4102. I've never believed in baiting. It's illegal in Minnesota. In my opinion, it seems unfair. It doesn't take much skill to sit over a pile of food dumped in the woods. It would be like throwing out a bale of hay and shooting a cow from the barn and calling it hunting. But that's just my opinion.
So what video is this on?
This is the home farm deer camp.
Okay, so the video this year. So
there's a scene of me.
So he's kind of mad at us on this.
You shot a deer over corn in the video.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, you're right.
But I didn't shoot my deer anywhere near corn. Not even on that side of the farm anywhere.
Nope. No, Isaac was within... He was over half a mile.
So this guy, he has the same frustrations as us, but he just directed it towards us, even though millions of hunters are doing that.
Yeah, he throws in it's illegal in Minnesota. Well, okay, you can't do it where you're at, so thanks for telling me how to do it here. Yeah. But thanks, Rick. Appreciate it. RFD Hunter, congrats on the season, but horrible editing on this one.
Throw dagger to you, huh?
Yeah,
thanks, dude.
It's straight at my heart right there. But I mean, the fact that it's got 70,000 views and keeps going every day.
And the best part is when you actually follow up on these comments and you click on their profile and
there's no video.
They don't have any videos, or they got like 2 videos. One of them is them cold starting their truck or something.
Yeah. That was from RFD or RDF Hunter, whoever RDF Hunter is. But so I reply to all these, and like I love when these guys, when they actually reply back, it's fun because
very rarely do they.
Yeah, there's never a reply back. So, some random generated user, try it without corn next time. Baiting is illegal in my book. Lame. Jim Spearknock 1184. Love watching hunting videos, but the music is freaking ridiculous. Lose it.
Loose it, not lose it.
Yeah, loose it. Second Life Seeker 282. Music's too loud, but other than that, I enjoy your videos. So there was some... Isaac actually yelled at me for some of those videos in that time stretch. And it's hard to explain to the audience, but when you're editing with speakers, sometimes the final product, when you actually watch it on TV, it doesn't match. So like my volume levels sound really good with my speaker when I'm doing it with my system because it's a better speaker. But if you're listening on a phone or your like random cheap TV, it might not divide up the sound as proper, and it might sound a little convoluted. So I've actually worked on keeping my levels.
Yeah, and a huge thing about YouTube is the ease of watching a video like ours. You can go from watching, say, the Dune movie to watching our video in the same hour. So he went and watched a movie that has a $200 million production budget. And then the next thing he watched was our video on YouTube that has a $0 production budget.
Whoa.
So yes, the audio, the video, it may be a little bit different. When you can just click it on your TV.
The only people who can feel the pain on that is someone else that sits in front of their computer and edits. If you're not a guy that edits, then like you know, it's easy to throw those rocks at that glass.
Yeah, I sat in front of my computer for about 4 hours today.
Larry Finley, I liked the video, but your background music was too loud. Couldn't hear you talking. To bring a point up on that, sometimes when you don't hear people's words and there's music being played, it's because you're not supposed to be hearing their words. It's B-roll. I've had people like argue with me, like, well, in that scene, I can't hear what the guy's saying, and I'm like, it's a panoramic shot of a whole bunch of people talking. Or it's not meant to be. Their voices are not meant to be heard.
Yeah, most of the time these are canned shots. We're not really setting shots up and setting up mics and blah, blah, blah. So if we didn't capture the audio, it's obviously not going to be very good in the video. Yeah. Like anything that you ever see in any TV show, in any movie, that audio is deliberately captured for that scene.
Right, in a studio.
We're just doing candid video, so it's,
Baiting deer, really, that's not hunting at all, from Guard 099. Here we go. Here's Luke White 7921. I wanted to watch, but I see you're drinking the pedophile beer. Which I don't.
Rude. When has Busch Light ever been the pedophile beer?
Well, that weird guy, the Bud Light thing, it's their Busch Light's the sister beer to Bud Light, so a lot of people dropped all Anheuser products.
Anheuser-Busch.
Yeah.
So what do they drink? Keystone?
Is he drinking
Modelo?
Yeah. Whatever, dude. I'm not dropping my Busch Light because one gay guy, and there's nothing wrong with being gay, one gay guy decided to
endorse it.
But I understand that guy was a little bit more than just a gay guy, and the whole tranny thing. We're not talking politics on this one. We're going to leave that one alone. The deer camp video, which is same year, last year, West Virginia, the deer camp in Gores.
New deer camp video?
Yep.
Okay.
The one from the Gore camp. Justin Jones, J2. How do you enjoy your hunts when you're hungover the next day?
That's a good question.
Well, sometimes it sucks ass. Let me tell you that.
That's a valid
Justin
comment.
Jones. You might be onto something there. Tim McSwain, BS4NQ. Too much drinking and not enough hunting.
Word.
Pipe Gang 6497.
That's a name, Pipe Gang.
Pipe Gang 6497. What I find sad is you guys will pass up 120, 130 inch deer all year long in other states, but come to West Virginia and shoot 2-year-olds and half-olds and 2.5-year-old scrubs. Why?
Also a valid comment.
It is a valid comment.
We've talked about this a lot.
It's just a different atmosphere for us. We still always reserve the right to shoot whatever we want anywhere we go. And, here on the home farm or in Ohio, there's a lot of larger deer, and you have a lot of time to get after them, and we want to shoot a bigger quality deer. Down at deer camp, you're there for 3 days of hunting with a rifle in your hand, climbing a mountain with a tag, want to take something home. We're hypocritical, I guess, in that regard, because a local could be living there like, damn, I'm trying to grow these bucks. This
is also a sensitive topic because we have never met anybody down there that is trying to harvest mature deer, trying to grow mature deer. The only people we've ever met deer hunting down there are scorched earth type or people poaching deer from the road.
Yeah, they're not even wearing orange and they're just hunting from the road. I mean, you have to understand.
So we're not exactly ruining anybody's deer herd down there from what we found.
I'll say, there's not a lot of management. Like, you had to understand where we're hunting in that video.
People don't always understand the location that we're in.
It's one of those
Appalachian America is a little bit different than Midwest.
It's one of those things where we're going and we are acting like the locals when we go to that spot. It'd be weird for us if we went down every year and never shot anything and then, complained about the hunting and pass all these deer when you're in deer camp for the camaraderie, the beer drinking, the food, the cooking, the chance at a bear, the climbing the mountains. And
does that make us slight hypocrites? Yeah, sure.
I mean, to be fair,
but I can live with that.
I've only shot a 10-point and an 8-point down there. So each one of us individually actually do pass some deer, but there are guys down there that don't want to pass a deer. They just want to kill the first good buck that comes by.
We pass a
first
lot of
buck
deer.
That comes by.
It's usually the
older guys
guys with us.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to tell some old guy who, A, owns the camp. And
B,
someone
that owns 180 acres.
Yeah, he owns the property down there, and B, he just wants a little bit of venison and have fun with his boys. Like, shame him for shooting a spike or a 5-point is ridiculous to me.
Yeah. We're on the same page there for sure.
Vic Scudder 6983. Wanted to share this with my son-in-law. He's from West Virginia, inherited a couple rifles from his father and uncles that were used for many years at their deer camp. Your foul language doesn't make it possible. I get it, but it's too bad you couldn't edit it out.
He can enjoy the video in a couple years.
Yeah, just tell him to watch it when he turns 18.
Yeah.
He'll really enjoy it then.
And we've kind of went both ways on the swearing thing. For a couple of years, we tried to not show any swearing in our videos.
Yeah, we took it all out, but then it just felt like I was...
It wasn't real.
Fake. Yeah, I felt like I was fake with everything.
So if you've spent any time with anybody in the real world and you're not at church and you're not at work in a professional environment, everybody swears. That's the way everybody acts. I've never met anybody.
Swearing is a sign of intelligence.
Yeah.
So yeah,
even our born again brethren.
Yeah, I've heard.
They swear just as much as anybody else.
Yeah, it's weird. I find it weird because some of the channels that I grew up really enjoying and watching, I actually got into it with a guy on Reddit today about this with Bear Grease. It gets kind of annoying that Bear Grease, and I love him, Clay Newcomb, all that stuff, but like their stuff is so churched. Like it is, they won't even say darn. Like it is so kid friendly, and I get
the
that
podcast they will swear.
Oh, I can't. I don't know
Maybe
if
not.
no, they. No, so Steve swears I'm a meat eater.
Yeah.
Bear Grease has never had a swear word in it.
He's
They
really
bleep him out.
He's really churched out.
And I'm sure that comes from Steve saying, like, this is our children's version of the podcast, potentially. But it's weird because they do podcasts about racists and, poachers and criminals. And it would
And
just feel
everybody-
more authentic if they swore a little bit.
Yeah, everybody in the real life swears. We all work in a firehouse. And
Yeah,
oh my
jeez.
God, if we said that stuff on the air, we'd all be in prison right now.
Yeah, there's some people that would stop listening to us if we talked like the way they do in the firehouse.
And sometimes it is hard for us because that's our daily life.
Yeah.
Every day.
Outdoor 2980. Outdoor RN 2980. Thank you for working in the hospital setting. Get on a fire truck like a real man. Oh, and one other thing. Nobody, and I mean nobody, cheers for the Cleveland Browns.
Which isn't true.
Yeah.
Because aren't they the most cheered for
They
football
have
team
a
in
top
the
3 or
world?
4 fan base on
In the world,
planet.
yeah.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
That's somebody from from Pennsylvania.
Thank you,
for
Outdoor
sure.
RN. Steve Hess 65. All the F-bombs were totally unacceptable for a hunting video.
Oh, piss.
Darlene Fiber. Why do you need to talk like that?
God, there's that many, huh?
Yeah.
Did we drop a lot of F-bombs in
I
that
don't
video?
think we did.
I don't think we did either. It seemed like a pretty tame year from what I can remember.
Compared to some. All right, this is on the Bino harness review, which I think was all the marsupials. This
Yeah.
is the original one we did with like all the different marsupials.
The video that people keep watching. For
I don't know
some
why
reason.
the audio is crap.
Crap.
Before we
we
knew what
recorded in here with no mics, just the camera and the metal ceiling. It sounded like hell.
Back when we were amateur as hell.
Yeah. It was,
Louisiana or Luis Gardena 8918. They turned a Bino harness into a front backpack. You want to carry extra stuff, use a fanny pack. This vid was 16 minutes. They could have done it in 5 if they stayed on reviewing a Bino harness and not a front back.
Front back.
Front back.
front backpack.
With a B. Front back, he keeps saying.
yeah, he can say that, but Bino harnesses are the
The
thing
fucking
nowadays.
greatest thing ever.
Yeah, and everybody if you watch any video, people are wearing them. Even THP started wearing them. Some of the guys.
Vaughn Warrener 1220. How do you get the time to hunt 60 days a year?
Fire.
Well, Vaughn, I got educated and left the factory. PDWE8FV. I should have just not even said it. It's some auto-generated thing. All that money spent on multiple cameras and you can't afford a proper microphone. Y'all would look like crap. I can't understand your mumbling. And why not test out the Eberl stock Recon? Because we never bought one.
We don't have it. And he's right.
And you're right about the
valid
audio.
comment.
The audio is crap. You are right,
Garbage.
Mr. Auto-generated account. October Mega 8. My name Luke. That was Jacob Owens. I don't know why I even put this comment on here. On one of the shorts of Massey, the little buck was adorable. Someone thought the deer I killed was adorable.
Thanks. Which it was the smallest hitless buck, the smallest number 1 hitless buck we've ever had.
Second heaviest deer we've ever had in here, besides your 7 point. Actually, the 2 heaviest deer we've ever had in here have a combined score of like 240 inches.
No, not
207?
yeah.
Like 120 something and 117.
17.
117. Yeah, so
No 120.
and they were by
whatever.
far the 2 heaviest bucks. I mean, mooses. Like nose or the feet are touching our ceiling, the nose is still on the ground.
Yeah, there's a 200-inch deer hanging in the house, and these deer outweighed that one by 75 pounds.
Oh, I measured Massey. Massey weighed 220 something. 220 and change, broke the scale. So we never got to measure Isaac's deer because the scale broke.
We need to
when we
get
took him
another
off the scale went back to past 0. So yeah, I don't know.
And remember what that deer tasted like?
The best.
We'll never see another deer like this. I took the back straps off, just grabbed them, and they peeled right out. The whole back strap. Never seen that before. Didn't have to cut anything. Peeled right out.
Shot that deer on October 28th, and we let it hang in here for at least a week, maybe more, and probably about 45 or 50
Perfect.
degree
It was
temperatures.
perfectly aged.
Yeah, like a little bit warmer, it would have been rotten. A little bit colder, it would have been
Frozen.
You could cut it with a fork before you even cooked it.
Fuck, was that good? All right, the best trail camera review on YouTube, which is about all the Browning cameras I've used over the years. Also has terrible audio, but good footage. It was before we had the mics, which it gets views every day too, which sucks because I wish it was better quality. But regardless, user name Michael, Mykel. Nerds, really? How about How about there are so many Browning cameras with similar names that model numbers are important to distinguish from one another? Haven't thought of that? By the way, your audio is too treble because your voice is bouncing off hard surfaces. Your stage needs some sound cushioning so that your voice comes across better for your listeners. Nerd.
This dude plays clarinet.
Yeah, nerd. Michael, M-Y-K-E-L, definitely plays a fucking clarinet. Deer Camp the movie. It's our #1 most viewed video of all time, West Virginia deer season.
Almost rocketed 200,000 views.
No, it's over 200.
Is it over 200?
Yeah, it's like close to 250,000. And it's like an hour and 16 minutes long or something. Jeff Roa 2001. A nice video, but man, you need to cut out that garage rock to fill in the silence. Honestly, silence would be better than that.
Here's another thing that a lot of people don't understand when it comes to YouTube is we cannot put actual music in our videos.
Yeah.
Everybody wants, fucking Nickelback and Metallica and shit in there.
Yeah, why aren't you playing Tyler Childers?
How cool would our videos be if we could put the music we wanted in there?
Tyler Childers, we get that 37-cent royalty check every time
the
video gets watched. But
so we have to use music that we purchase for royalty free.
We did get licensed for one song.
Yeah, I got licenses for a couple songs, actually. I actually contacted an artist and said, I really like the song. Can I use it? And they said, yep. So I got a license for it. But Joey Eckley, Charles Moss, and Raven Fan 1606. Couldn't take the music. Volume sucks. A little less music in your video will go a long way. So the only complaints on that video, which is our #1 of all time, was the music and the volume. I'll take that.
Yeah. Not to mention the whole video was filmed on a GoPro without the best audio mics and stuff.
Was it? I thought that was the first year we used the new Pano.
We didn't have the Pano then.
No. Oh, well, that's good. The next one is the Buck Tree video, which is the best week of deer camp ever. It's 2019 deer season down in West Virginia, which was our best deer season down there. Steve Denoyer said baby giants, Big Al, killed some awful little bucks. Markland 5947, try to be a little louder. OJW, drinking and hunting, great video for giving hunting a black eye. No one was actually hunting and drinking at the same time. There were people that were sitting with hunters that may have brought a beer in their pocket for fun or two, but they weren't hunting at that point. They were done, no guns. Because we don't hunt, we don't drink and shoot at the same time. So if you ever see that on those videos, it's lost in the context of who the guy is.
Yeah, and there might be.
And we're sitting on the ground in these videos. They're not climbing tree stands.
Not to mention you're putting a video together of 6 different people filming all weekend. So sometimes there may be a video of me drinking it, then the next scene is me hunting. But it could be 3 days later.
Yeah.
Just because the continuity isn't always there.
All that camera gear set up and no shot on film. Waste of time. I had to refute that because there was 2 bucks.
I shot a
3
buck
bucks
on film.
There was a Matt missed a deer on film. You can see the bullet trail. Isaac killed a buck on film. Matt killed a buck on film with me filming. So 3 bucks were killed on film, asshole. You didn't watch the whole video. But yes, I didn't get my buck or Chris's buck on film. And for all these comments about baby bucks, I killed a 130-inch West Virginia 10-point that year. So I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about. I challenge anyone to
tiny deer.
Yeah, I challenge anyone to kill a 130-inch buck in the hills of West Virginia. The southern hills of West Virginia, not bow-only counties. This is like
Timbuktu.
Yeah, it's
Timbuktu.
Yeah. All right, Mountain Muleys.
Oh, boy.
Lisa Wood, you shot a fucking 2-point. There's no accomplishment here. Quit killing tiny deer and posting the videos about it like you've done something impressive.
There's my deer.
There it is. Yeah.
So she's from the West because they say it's 2-point. Out here in Ohio, it's a 4-point.
I mean, for your first archery deer out of state with a bow and velvet, I mean, come on.
So we're hunting a unit in Utah, a general unit, people everywhere. We've never been in this state before. Hunting in an elevation, the highest elevation I've ever been in personally, we're hunting there. I was pretty happy with my accomplishment.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
TC Custom Z Archery. An hour of selfies. Good hell, that was lame.
That comment was just the other day, too. So this son of a bitch.
Did you click on him? Did you click on his profile?
No.
I commented back. But this son of a bitch, he watched the whole video. If he says that, at least he skipped through the whole video. So thanks for watching the whole thing.
There's some phone scope footage in there.
There's a lot of phone scope footage in there.
What the hell, man? David Ripley, 743. Hey, where do you live?
No.
There's a lot of that crap on there.
Like guys, and it's probably an older gentleman, I would assume, because it's his all these ones that are a name and then some numbers. It's actually just the guys put their name in, and YouTube generates them.
Yeah.
A username. So I'm assuming it's an older guy.
It's a lot of people that are logged into Google.
Yeah.
And then it'll let them comment, but it'll just be their name.
Hey, where do you live? Yeah, I'm just going to give you my direct address. Just come over and hang out.
So some people may be asking that because of the elk we filmed in that video.
Oh, yeah. There's
a lot of comments about where that video was because of the elk we filmed.
Giant. Biggest fucking elk I've
The
ever
elk's
seen.
known, right?
It's known by where, so locals that live there knew about it, and it never got killed.
So it's there this year?
Maybe.
That's
But
great.
you can't kill it because you don't have an elk tag?
No. It's over the counter, no.
All right.
I don't want to give away any possible locations. You can connect some puzzle pieces if we start giving away too much information.
Bow hunting the Ohio Rut, Shadow Dog, O-Forces, can the music. Geez. People really don't like our music. And I think that's why it's interesting because like an outfit like THP, they don't play music during their hunts at all.
They only play it in the
right
intro,
at the beginning, then right at the
and
end.
it's that guy that makes songs for them.
Jim Reiser. And I do like how they did it. If we had an in-house band, that'd be fucking sweet. But we don't. And we have to use internet music that we buy. And I like the upbeat music at times for cutscenes. And if you don't like it, then you're old and you need to expand your mind.
There's a reason why every movie has a score, a soundtrack. Everything.
Yeah, right. Backcountry Bears. This one's full of good ones.
Yeah.
Zeus the Jabari. So some Middle Eastern man said, why? Because he wanted to shoot a bear. I mean, that's
a loaded question.
That's awesome.
A lot to unravel in that one.
Just in Ireland. Fist fight one to death, and maybe I'd like that. The Antis have found your bear video.
Yep.
That's awesome. Christopher Vanlerberg. Christopher Vanlerberg. That's a long name, buddy. Good vid, would recommend adding more footage of the actual hunting, hiking, traveling, glassing, planning, etc. Just watching a video of updates gets old.
That's what my videos are.
Yeah, we're about to release 4 more of them.
Yep.
Stephen Eddy. So now you know what small bears look like. Congratulations.
Valid.
Gerald Hartman. It's too small to shoot, my opinion. Plenty of big bears.
Also valid.
Turkey hunting short of some kind. And some random username that doesn't make any sense. Do they have sex like real people or something different? At J_H72. Someone's getting a little curious on the internet late at night, wondering how turkeys fuck. But yeah, they do it like people. Kinda.
I think I don't know how.
Yeah, they mount up.
Yeah, I know they mount up.
They mount up and they push holes against each other and shit happens. These are all ones I pulled off random shorts, so I don't even know which ones they are. We're just gonna have to guess. You guys will just have to guess at which shorts they are because the shorts algorithm hits everybody. So if we shoot a deer and cut its head off and drag it to the woods, then a bunch of non-hunters will see it. And we don't actually post shorts anymore on. It's a perfect time for this. We don't post shorts anymore on SBO. We have a new channel that's only for shorts. Because it fucks with your algorithm, and I don't like
Which is weird because I search for our channel that only posts shorts, and you can't find it just by like searching for the channel.
Because there's only 49 subscribers right now, so hopefully we get a couple more subscribers. Deer Shop Shorts.
Shorts are weird though.
Yeah,
like
shorts are very
people
weird.
don't subscribe to those pages; they just watch them when they come up.
So like, if you look at the metrics,
scrolling.
I'll give like some random numbers out there. If you look at the metrics on my shorts channel, like my random shorts channel that I just created has like 100,000 views or something stupid
In a couple of weeks.
and it has like 270 watch hours. And then you have our SBO channel where you're watching this podcast. It has like 19,000 views and 4,600 watch hours because we have these hour-long videos and people stay. It's just interesting how that works. Like, I hate shorts so much.
Yeah, so
I acknowledge that they need to be
trying
done.
to bulge into that market, but that market.
I don't like it, but we're gonna try it for a year, see where it goes.
Yeah.
And I'll make some cooler. Like right now, it's just shorts from the podcast. I'll make some cooler shorts when the time comes, and we'll see what happens with it. And if it does nothing after a year, then I'll just abandon it. No sweat off my back. AI makes them anyways. Random shorts. Stephen Bennett. So you drink beer on your lunch break? Sometimes. Not if I'm work. I don't actually ever have a lunch break. I'm either at the firehouse or here. So if I'm fucking here,
We're drinking beer.
we're drinking beer because I ain't working.
most times.
If you see us filming hunting videos, it ain't a lunch break.
No.
So I'll give you that. Teresa Ehrenthal. Disgusting.
Wonder what that was.
Yeah, some dead deer. See, these shorts handles are weird. Pop on a Chechnik, something.
Gosh, it's the Russians, bro.
Yeah, this is pretty cool, but I almost couldn't like it because you're drinking Bush.
A lot of hate in the bush light today.
Hate the bush. They love to hate the bush.
Yeah, I love the Bush. Scarlip 305, poor animals. Van London service. Hoping no one aims at you, douchebag. All right, let's dive into that one a little bit. Van London service.
I didn't realize it.
Hoping no one aims at you, douchebag. All right. PKMB 108. One day this is going to happen with you at God's place. All right.
Did he tag someone else?
No, that's just I didn't put a space there. It'll look better for you. That's funny that you say that God's place, because take thy bow and arrow and go out into the field and harvest game for your family.
It's in the
fucking
Bible.
in the Bible. It's in Genesis. It's like in the 3rd chapter of the book. It tells you to start killing things with your bow. So there's that.
Lots of hunting and killing in the Bible.
Yeah. Angelica Mania. Sounds like a porn star. I respect the hunters, but I don't like to see such a beautiful animal being killed for fun. It is fun to kill them, but I'm sure we ate it.
We did eat.
Whatever video it is, we ate it. Because the only thing that we wouldn't eat would be a coyote, and we don't shoot any of those.
Or a woodchuck.
Or groundhogs. I've eaten a groundhog before.
You have.
Tasted funny.
Guns. Really?
We were over there by the barn,
we
right?
were actually going to do a woodchuck hunting podcast today, but then our metrics have been so good with the deer hunting stuff that we decided to can that for a little bit and do this.
Yeah, we can do that one anytime.
Yeah, that'll be an any-timer. Gun season in Ohio. This was the video that got us monetized. Not the one that got It's not the one that got slammed by YouTube. It's the one that got us monetized in 2021.
So our
views.
first big hitter.
Yeah, our first big hitter ever. Gun season in Ohio. It was a very fun video to put together. TP-MH2JI. Some weird username. Gotta have beer. Unsubscribing. Kids don't need these trashy videos.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't need your kid watching. Doesn't do me any good. Joe wears a drool bib. Joe wears a drool bib. You guys kill them and then eat them too? That is barbaric. Laugh out loud. I think that was a tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joel, I like you, Joe, that wears a drool bib. Bella Bonnie 3141 sounds like another porn star. An assault rifle, deer hunting, laughing my ass off.
Yeah.
Yes, we killed a lot of deers with ARs in that video.
Legally.
Fucking smoked them. Justin Baker. Anytime you see a guy carrying a deer, you know for a fact he's a moron.
All right.
I mean, I'm not going to... He's talking about Matt carrying the deer out of the woods. So I won't disagree with you, Justin Baker. That's not a terribly bad comment to make, but we were on private ground, and there was 10 of us walking in a group. So if someone wants to start shooting at a group of pumpkin heads walking together in an open field on private ground, if we would have got shot, it would have been our fault, but sometimes you just got to toe the line. Deer Camp 2021, which was deer season West Virginia, the 30th anniversary film. I don't think we killed any deer that year. The video did pretty good on YouTube, but we just basically drunk and hung out at camp.
What we do every year.
Yeah. Mike Makovsky 3112. You guys are partying too much. Yeah, that year we didn't kill shit, so you aren't wrong.
A lot of times it's weather dependent.
I guess what people don't know is we go down. So I'll just throw this out there. We go down 3 days before the season starts to check trail cameras, make sure our stands are safe, open up the cabin. Hopefully it's still there.
Have Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, clean stuff out. Cook Thanksgiving dinner. Drink a lot of beer. Play cornhole. Listen to football games. We do that 3 days before deer season starts on Monday. We go down on Friday. So there's 3 days where we look like we're just a bunch of fucking morons partying in the woods.
Because we are.
But we're not. It's not. Hunting season's not open yet. I'll sit all day Monday, Tuesday, and then half a day Wednesday before we go home. When deer season rolls in at deer camp, we hunt. Mm-hmm. There's just no question about that. So don't get the wrong impression on that. Elkhorn Lake Hunt Club 2021. I do with my work buddies. We go to a canned pheasant hunt in Bucyrus, Ohio. They release pheasants from towers and pay for them. It's a European-style built hunt. Jonah Whale 9047, another Bible guy. Yeah, Jonah and the Whale. I was just reading an article about how nearly half of bald eagles tested across the U.S. show signs of chronic lead exposure due to fucks like you shooting the birds they feed on and discarded fishing tackle. Harmful levels of toxic lead were found in bones of 46% of bald eagles sampled in 38 states from California to Florida. Lead is a neurotoxin that, even in low doses, impairs an eagle's balance and stamina, reducing its ability to fly, hunt, and reproduce. In high doses, lead causes seizures, breathing difficulty, and death. The study estimated that lead exposure reduced the annual population and growth of bald eagles by 4% and golden eagles by 1%. 85 to 90% of the eagles that come into the Raptor Center hospitals have some level of lead in their blood. Come on, guys. It's 2022. Time to go vegan and respect animals' rights. I kept that one in there because he had me in the beginning. It's a hard argument to fight.
Yeah, you can't fight that.
Even though he ends it with, let's go vegan. So, fuck you, guy.
And the population of bald eagles in our area is
skyrocketing.
It's
It's out of control now. I could go hold a fish up like this in the yard right now for about 20 minutes, and a bald eagle will probably come down and take it out of my hand.
Yeah, it's like Alaska out here.
Yeah.
But he was making some valid points in the beginning,
Yes.
even though he's jabbing at you for a system-wide issue of lead.
Yeah.
It's a controlled pheasant hunt that you're taking the birds.
Which I would say in the next 10 years, I'm sure we won't be able to use any lead shot. A lot of states have already gone that way. A lot of species, any waterfowl hunting, you can't use lead.
Yeah,
Turkey hunting's going away from lead
only.
anyway.
The problem is, Isaac can expand on this. You can't use the steel. I guess you could use steel for the pheasant hunts, but it's expensive, and so is the tungsten. But you don't want to be shooting tungsten.
No.
Up in the air. You cannot shoot tungsten up in the air. These non-lead rounds because the velocity
it is lethal for a lot longer distance.
It penetrates, so it'll fuck some people up, and it's not safe.
That's like shooting a rifle up in the air almost.
That's just such a beautiful comment because you were going there. You were going well,
you had us.
Whale, until the very end. Respect animals' rights. The right to be on my plate.
Yeah.
Public land, Montana mule deer, and it's all you on this one, Isaac. I'm gonna start jabbing.
Let's see what
at
we
you.
got. This is what I was just looking some information up to.
2020. I don't know what year you shot a deer.
2021.
Yeah, shot a mule deer.
Shot up 3x4. Not average sized deer, I would say, for the place I was hunting. On the younger side, but. My first.
He must have already read some of these comments. He's already making his excuses. Damian Smith, obviously not an expert marksman as demonstrated by the old spine gut shot. Seems like a pretty reckless shot. 1, injured the deer with a gut shine spot. 2, deer was very close to a ridge. 3, missed your second shot. No offense, mate, but maybe leave being. He fucked all that up, but don't be Mark Wahlberg. That's what he said.
Well, I didn't miss my second shot. And the first shot, the deer died really quickly. But
bloody mess.
It was a bloody mess.
We couldn't show a lot on that video.
Yeah, I remember that.
What a mess.
How long was that shot?
400 and some yards.
417, I thought.
Reckless prick.
Yeah, goddamn, you're such an asshole.
If you would have seen where I was hunting, there wasn't another human being for 10 miles.
Yeah, these people can just... Right. Zolorod. YouTube out-of-state hunters have devastated our young muley bucks.
Yeah, you YouTuber.
Yeah, you damn YouTuber.
The 60,000 deer that get shot every year. Four of them were on YouTube.
Yeah, right. Yeah, dumb. First big 9-sit, which is a mini-sode of me and Nick hunting his property. Tara Pruitt. Way to fuck shit up, Adam. Adam Hess. That was me. He rode a 4-wheeler through while we were trying to hunt.
You guys
I think Adam and Nick's relationship has gotten better since all this was a couple years ago when things. But I got one of your Instagram posts on the wall back here, Adam. Just so you know, if you're listening, if you're ever listening, printed out one of your statuses telling me to fuck myself. Actually, I will. When we end this podcast, I'll go over there before it's over. I'll go pull it off the wall and I'll read it out loud so everyone can hear what Adam posted about me on social media. OG Deer Camp, which was my 2015, 2016. Didn't kill any deer. Got real fucking drunk. Sat in a cabin. Long time ago down in West Virginia. Babe Tucci. Sounds like another porn star. Rude behavior. Bad language. No deer. Lots to learn. Yep. Truth. Carl Preston. What the hell did I just watch? Thanks for watching it, though, Carl.
And commenting on it.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I feel like it would be pretty explanatory what you watched.
Yeah, you watched a bunch of guys in a cabin not hunt because it rained, it was cold, and we just got drunk, okay? The new Family Dream Farm Mineral Elixir series. User row 9 RPM something auto-generated. I was right behind you on the highway in a red Chevy HHR and thought to look y'all up on June 19th.
This is probably my truck,
Yeah,
I'm sure.
people always see. So no one ever sees my truck. They see your truck.
Because I drive on 71
Yep,
every day.
Yep. I've had multiple comments like, oh, I followed a white pickup truck or a yellow pickup truck. Or, I don't know your pickup truck color in the videos. It's in the
A
videos.
lot of videos.
White pickup truck with an SPO sticker.
We've been snagged in Montana. Like,
yeah.
people have found our videos by seeing our truck. And they found our videos by seeing Jay's truck. That's the freaky part.
So someone was really, well, to be fair, though, if you're really invested in the Montana bear hunting, there's only 15, 20 videos that get exposure released every year.
true.
So you can watch them all and then recognize people when you know. It's not like there's 65,000 people.
Yeah, but this dude remembered seeing our truck that has no stickers on it because it's Jay's truck, so it's incognito. And he remembered that a year later when we posted the video.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
He messaged me on Instagram.
The Joey Pavlovich podcast, episode 20, the new bow hunter. This one's fun. I went back and forth.
Yeah,
with
you
this
did
guy
a lot on that.
Oh, yeah, this one was funny.
So the guy
Valid
who's
points, though.
the new bow hunter, he commented, I'm confused. I looked up Joey's channel. Joey has a channel, Wild Time TV, and he films for Latitude and Rolling Thunder and yada, yada, yada. If you've watched our podcast, you know who Joey is. Killed a really big buck a couple years ago.
Semi-professional filmer now, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, it's the only real job he has.
Yeah, so I guess it makes him a professional filmer.
Regardless. Watch, if you want, I told new bow hunter, fuck this guy, I'll just read his comments. I'm confused. I looked at Joey's channel and was expecting to see gorgeous 4K footage, but it was poor quality 1080, question mark. So then I replied back. I was actually, if you go in the comment, you can see, I was actually real nice. I said, Joey, this, and most YouTube is uploaded in 1080 anyways, and blah, 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 blah. And we went back and forth on a couple comments, and then, I hit a nerve with him, I guess, because I said that I was defending our friend and our one of our local guys. Like, I'm obviously going to stick up for him, etc. And the new bow hunter said, "Listen, pal, if you want to go this way, we can. I have probably done more filming than you, so if you want to compare credentials, I have done documentary films and traveled the country filming professional level paintball events." Sorry, I have traveled the country filming professional level paintball events. So yes, I know all about it, sir. I even was contacted to go to LA to film a special event using Hollywood stuntmen. So my reply was, sweet. Yet here you are sprouting ignorant comments about someone else based upon your 42-inch monitor and whether or not it looks good or bad in your opinion. Excuse me if we stand up for our peers who are out in the field making it happen professionally. It has been noted that the new bow hunter is unhappy with Joey's quality. Got it. Enjoy your paintball documentaries.
Yeah,
He replied, thanks, and you can keep filming on your potato. That's what I get for asking a simple question to an arrogant a-hole. Too bad you can't carry an adult conversation. Grow up.
So let's not forget that the Super Bowl every year, watched by over 1 billion people,
Yeah.
is 1080p.
Yeah, come on, man.
All of TV is still 1080p unless you go out of your way to have a 4K TV and specialized 4K
Streaming or
cable,
to hook
blah,
up,
blah, blah.
It's just awesome.
1080p is still the...
It's going to be used forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't go through with all the comments that guy said, but prior he said, well, I use a 42-inch monitor, and it looks really bad when I'm, watching his YouTube videos, and I don't know how you
Does he also not understand that YouTube will compress, especially if you don't have tens of thousands of followers, blah, blah, blah. They'll compress your video.
He's the new bow hunter.
Yeah. So small YouTube channels' video quality is a lot less than large YouTube channels because YouTube will compress it more because less people see it.
The Turkey Camp Chronicles Gobbler at 5 Steps where I missed a bird. Agnes Belga sounds like another porn star. Please do not kill animals. They are going to be extinct if you kill them always.
No, we'll be extinct too if they go extinct.
Yeah, all right, so there's that. And the very last comment that I have written down here before we can do some bullshitting, and it's randomly popped up on a video that I made for Dylan maybe back in 2017.
No, before that,
Maybe,
I think.
yeah, maybe before.
He made it years later.
And it's footage from 2012 to 2015,
on a private ranch.
New Mexico.
A private ranch in New Mexico that they paid to hunt. Non-guided private land that they paid to hunt. If you wanted to hunt there, you could pay enough money or kind of find it. This wasn't a public land unit.
And it's also a location where you have to drive 6 hours through this ranch to get to the. out there in New Mexico, they're so huge people can't understand it.
Well, the Elk Slayer 1 commented, "You guys who post units or towns are fucking morons and idiots."
I think the only town you spoke of in there was
Roswell.
Was Roswell, yeah.
So go down to Roswell and fuck around and see what happens. There's a lot of stuff down there that gets yourself in trouble if you're just wandering around in the wilderness. And I don't even think Roswell's in the title anymore, but yes, it was a private ranch near the town of Roswell 12
Shame
years
on
ago.
you.
Mm-hmm.
You got to worry about flying saucers.
160,000 acre private ranch.
Yeah, you got to worry about flying saucers more than you got to worry about finding out exactly where that mule deer was killed. Ethan, can you run and get that thing off the wall real quick so I can read it? 'Cause I'm kind of trapped in here. That'll be the last comment I'll read.
Don't trip over the camera.
Try my best to.
So that's all our roast comments. I thought it'd be fun. I thought it was fun to do. It's just fun to like read. Some people, there's a lot of guys on YouTube that take that stuff way too personal, and they'll like get upset and mad about it, and et cetera, et cetera.
I love how you print it out and put it on the frame.
Put it out, put it in the frame. All right, so this was January, or actually the camera date's wrong on here, so I don't know when this was. Maybe 2020, 2021. Neighbor kid that hunts near our buddy Nick. He went on Instagram one day and put, "For everyone saying to stay away from Siman Brothers shooter buck, go fuck yourself. He's my shooter, and I'm the one that put all the work for every buck on camera I have. All the rotations when they come to feed and when they bed and where they go. You may be better hunters than me, but I'll be damned if you're going to take my bucks away from me that I've been working hard for. Once again, his name is Goofy, and he's my shooter." Well, Adam.
So did he post?
I have never hunted on that property one time with a weapon. Yeah,
it's like a 120-inch weird deer.
Yeah. I've never hunted on that property one time. Nick passed that deer on video with me in the tree with him. You obviously had the wrong impression back then, but I think Adam's commented on our stuff a lot since then, so I don't think he's actually mad.
He was probably also like 16 years old when he made that comment.
Probably less. And he's the kid that was riding around on his four-wheeler while we were hunting.
So you guys were
He would just drive by in his 400EX with a pipe and just make a bunch of noise right off the property line. But the night you were doing that, we saw him, just so you know. But we didn't shoot him. He disappeared. No, we don't know whatever ended up happening to him.
Weird deer, though.
Yeah, weird deer.
We have a couple regular comments, right? Like people that comment on every video now. Tommy Madden.
Regular commenters.
Yeah, so it's weird. It depends on where you read the comment. If it's in the YouTube Studio app, their name is different and has all those numbers and stuff. If you read it on actual YouTube, sometimes these comments, it doesn't have all the numbers and their username's a little bit different.
So what happened to our guy?
Yeah, Jay. His name was Jay, I think.
His name was Jay?
Jay McMahon.
He would comment on every
Jim McMahon.
video.
He might have been a Bear. Maybe he was a Bears fan. Jim McMahon was his title. He commented on every video for a while. Kept losing his phone, so he was unable to. Then he got.
So we don't know if he was a kid or if he was. We don't know.
I think he was married because he said he uses his wife's phone to watch.
And
then he was commenting on Instagram for a while, and then it all stopped. So
Indiana, because he commented on the public land.
Yeah,
I think he lives somewhere down south.
Yeah, okay.
But
because we do have some people that regularly comment.
Yeah, Tommy Madden's a new one.
Tommy Madden. There's a guy. There's a guy named Rack Daddies. That since we're a deer hunting channel, you would think he's a deer hunting guy, but he only comments on videos when my wife is in. So I don't know if he's actually a deer hunting guy or not. If he's just stumbling across our videos. Yeah,
because there is a few videos on our channel of chicks in bikinis.
Yeah, we go to the beach once every 2 years.
I shouldn't say chicks. I should say our significant others.
Wives and fiancés now. Yeah, Isaac's engaged. Everyone give Isaac a round of applause. He's engaged. She's watching my kid right now.
In the house.
While we make this podcast.
She's babysitting.
And that's also why I'm drinking water. Just so you guys know. I had to drive a child around today, so I'm not drinking.
And we have to
Good for you.
We have to have 4th of July.
Yeah, right. Oh, man.
We got that 4th of July dinner with Mom in 10 minutes.
Yeah. I got to make sure that your fiance, first time I've ever called her that, is okay in the house with my child. How long have we been recording?
Over an hour.
Holy shit. Really?
Yeah, went quick.
Yeah, it's almost 7.
All right, guys. That's episode 50.
If you like it, let us know.
Yeah, leave some comments what your favorite roast was, or roast. Put some comments on here, and we'll read them off in the next podcast. I don't care.
And go watch our videos and roast the shit out of us, and we'll read them.
All press is good press. The next episode is either going to be the women.
We're recording one on Tuesday next week.
Yeah, we're getting the women in the studio to do some recording, talk about some some
We're
hunting
pretty much
stuff.
just talking about Western hunting and what they do while we're gone for months at a time. And then they try to come with us sometimes.
Yeah, your Western hunting days are over.
I'm leaving in 6 weeks.
You are?
No, 5 weeks.
5 weeks. You have your Western series from last year will be on YouTube in a couple weeks.
Yeah, a couple
weeks. It'll be on YouTube. And around that time is when I'll start putting my series on there, the deer stories. So we got a lot of shit coming.
Yeah, we're coming down to the wire. I'll be hunting in 6 weeks, which is
There's a new
scary.
Family Dream Farm that premiered 55 minutes ago too. So check out the Family Dream Farm series. That's just things we do right around here for fun. They're shorter videos. We're talking less than 10 minutes. So I usually try to have a little cinematography to them and make them enjoyable. If the women aren't episode 51, I think we're going to try and get either season 1 finale or season 2 premiere or edited and recorded here in the next couple weeks. Because episode 51 is the end of season 1 because we missed a week. So episode 52 will be the first episode of season 2.
And we'll be really hammering the deer hunting stuff.
Yeah, hammering
because
the
the
deer
season
hunting
will be
stuff.
starting.
I will be putting a new intro together for YouTube. So on the YouTube version, there will be a new intro coming in a couple weeks. So keep an eye out for that.
Cool. Thanks for listening.
Episode 50.
Deer Shot Podcast. We are out.
Out.